Puck is dropped, and we're underway. Episode 4 of the Puck Drop Pod. Chris, Eric Lindros behind me, the 1997 Eastern Conference Finals, when times were really, really good. Just on the cusp of a dynasty that never was, right? Ace, what's going on, brother?
Not much. How you doing, buddy?
We are now in the midst of an off season. Obviously, the playoffs are going on, and they've been awesome. Obviously, and we'll get into that.
Fun.
I'm wearing the burnt orange.
Okay.
I got Lindros behind me because that was the last time we had a true superstar. And honestly, the reason why I have the blank authentic. By the way, we got money like that. Authentic burnt orange is because Mitchkov will be here by what? 5 p.m. today? Yeah.
I'm set. He's going to be here. He's already. So we just don't know it yet.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I'm at the point right now where if I don't see 39 on the ice come October, I'm going to be super disappointed. Instagram and Twitter ablaze.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Those deadlifts, rocking the Flyers shirt and doing the other workout, whatever it is. I don't work out. I don't know what he's doing, but he looks cool.
He looks cool. He's doing split squats there. And I don't want to sound like a D-bag, but there are plenty of D-bags on Twitter who were criticizing him about his form on his deadlifts. And I'm like, oh my God, shut up. Yeah, he's 18 years old or 19. What were you doing at 19?
Doing that. Yeah, definitely not that.
No, absolutely not. So, so if you didn't see, I guess it was his trainer, right? His trainer was posting that?
Yeah, he's working out with his trainer, Alexei Yakshin, randomly. What was the other one?
That's a random name. Oh, my God.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Even though I hate Kovalchuk, I want him associated with my guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'll take a Kovalchuk any day. Although Matt Bay is way better than Kovalchuk.
Oh, my God. Stop. You're speaking my language now. You're speaking my language. So, yes. So, not only is he working out, he's working out with Flyers gear on.
Yeah, Flyers gear. He had the shorts, too.
And he's posting that from his account. So, there's no way, in my mind, there's no real way that he's going to post that. And this is wishful thinking. Without some sort of deal in place, some sort of plan in place, you would think, right? You can work out and that stuff. But when you post that, something's going to get out. And people are going to assume.
Definitely starting that pot.
Oh, my God, yeah. And so, I bought in 100%. I'm not going to be, I'm at the point now where I'm expecting this to happen. And if it doesn't happen this year, I'm going to be upset. There have been rumors that maybe it's in the works, but it won't happen until maybe the end of the season, right? When you really get those
KHL season ends.
Late call-ups and all that stuff. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm of the opinion that now if it doesn't happen, or if it doesn't happen immediately, I'm checking Twitter every 10 minutes. And I'm like, it's happening today. Refresh. And, and we talked about this before. Danny and the management team are, they've got everything kind of locked up.
Yeah,
so
they're sneaky.
It makes sense that he would come over and nobody would really know until that day.
Yeah, he's playing bubble hockey probably right now as we speak.
Dude, that's the greatest. Oh, we brought him over to play bubble hockey. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, sure you did. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
So listen, the Russian invasion is on. We've got Michkov coming over. That's going to happen any day now, like we just said. Now, is it Demidov? That's my guy. I've decided, listen,
that's your guy.
He's going number 2. He's going 2, 3, or 4.
Okay.
I would think.
That's who you're picking.
You would think, too.
Yeah. It's crazy because I've seen him going as low as 9th, almost falling to us, essentially. That's
crazy. I don't know. In my mind,
he's not going to fall to 12.
No. He's not going to fall to 12, but, moving up to get the guy doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility if it's 9. Now, if it's 2, your thoughts on that?
I don't want to burst your bubble, but I really doubt they're going to be able to package a deal and get number 2 overall. only because of who they'd be trading with. If he falls to like 4 or 5 or even farther than that, you have a way better chance because those teams are on the verge as well. But I can't remember who it is who's number 2. I don't remember if we have it in the notes or anything like that. I want to say it's either Montreal or Columbus, something like that. Or
No, 2 is Chicago. 2, it goes
That's right, Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago's picking
So
2. Good.
I can't think of a package that you would do with Chicago that they'd say, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then what's Montreal 3 then? Because if it's Montreal,
isn't
probably
it?
not trading with them either.
You're really.
I think it's Montreal number 3, and I think.
All right. Hypothetically,
it's Montreal. Montreal's 3, and then 4 is Columbus.
Okay. So theoretically, hypothetically, whatever etically you want to throw out there, a package to get to 2 with Chicago, what does it look like? Your thought, like, just
probably.
Let's blow them away. Get Demidov in number 2 or Demidov, whatever it is.
So their needs then are goaltending, defense, and centers down the middle. We don't have any centers.
Well, we got a lot of goaltending.
We have a lot of
goalies.
We got a lot of goaltending. We got a lot of defense. So you'd probably be looking at our 12th overall pick. And probably Sanheim
Urson,
and
12
a
and
prospect.
Farabee. Urson, 12, Farabee. Let's get it done. Oh!
Oh, yeah. You think?
All right.
You know what? He might want to play over there. That's close to home.
Urson, 12. Frost, Farabee. To 2.
Closer, but you're probably going to have to give up a prospect. You'll probably have to give up something like Andre or Brink.
Now listen, now that's interesting that you say that. Interesting that you say that because Andre on the Phantoms just they got knocked out in the second round there. He was not overly awesome in that series or in those playoffs.
I know he
had a
few
turnovers.
Power play goal, right? That tied the game for the comeback in the game prior or something.
He did, but also some bad turnovers as well. So, smaller guy, like kind of like a. I mean, I've heard comps like a Timonen kind of guy, smaller, stockier, but you know, is he untouchable? Probably not. You get up there. I mean, if you got Bonk coming, and I know that we put in our notes that Bonk might be ready to play. Oliver Bonk might be ready to play next season.
He's ready. Right, he is so ready. I didn't even like the pick, and I was like, man, this guy is so one-dimensional as well. He was always just he could skate, he could shoot, he just never did it. He was just very defensive.
And honestly, I
love a big right-hand lockdown guy, but
yeah, but you know what? For me, and I've said this probably before, is that I like the lineage kind of picks, right? Bonk's dad played.
Yeah.
I just enjoy, he knows what it takes to play. He's seen his dad go through it. Exactly. He knows how to be a professional and immediately. So to me, it's easier for those kind of guys to jump right in. Not that, it wouldn't, it's still tough, but for me, it just feels, he's been around the game in a higher level more than, some of your other guys that you could potentially have picked there. I enjoy that kind of lineage thing. Not that his dad was overly amazing, but a good, solid NHL player. Doesn't mean his kid can't be even better than that.
Exactly. And
so,
I mean,
I enjoy, I love those picks.
And right. Radek Bonk was a forward, so it's not like he has to play up to his dad's standard because his dad was a forward. He's a defenseman. He has been working
he's gonna get that NHL spot.
Yeah, of course. And when he comes up, I mean, he's probably not going to be playing in the bumper like he is now. I don't know. Maybe they try it because their power play.
Well, that was my next question. Why? That's my next thing. Like, he's playing the bumper, which is, explain what that is, because I don't know if any hockey non-nerds know what that is.
The bumper is essentially a spot in front of the net, like right between the two face-off dots. So he sets up there. And the whole point is you have two flank players that pull the defense away, leaving him wide open. Now, do we have the players that could pull those players wider to give them that shot? That's why it works in the junior leagues right now, because they've got anybody could do that. So, but the
Well,
fact that he's
that's why
ripping shots
39's
like
coming.
that, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. You put 39 on one side of him, or really anybody, and then maybe somebody like Frost on the other side, or TK. You've got yourself a good line right there. So this whole team is built around Michkov drawing in players, and you can tell
Right.
by the way they're building it around him. So
Yeah, and to me, he's playing that spot in juniors now. Um, and he's doing well. Now listen, he's a defenseman. You don't normally see defensemen in that spot, obviously,
mhm.
but why not?
Yeah,
Who cares? How
yeah, let's
we
do
listen?
something different because it's not working now.
The power play can't get any worse. Literally cannot get any worse. Cannot get worse than historically the worst power play in modern history. So
Oh yeah,
if you're talking about doing something revolutionary, not revolutionary, I mean it's not changing the game in any sense, but
yeah, yeah.
if that's his strength, I mean, look, the idea was, I thought, really, for him to go play in Lehigh Valley for a season
Mm-hmm.
with Denver Barkey as well. But if he's ready, he's ready. We'll see. Time
Mm-hmm.
will tell with that. And if he is
Yeah.
ready, why not try that? Who cares?
Yeah, let's
What?
let's hope, because next year him and Barkey are not eligible for the AHL technically. Barkey is
Right.
definitely not eligible. Although Bonk's birthday is like the 2nd or 3rd of January, and the cutoff is December 31st. So if he wants to play
Right.
with the Phantoms, they can actually apply that he's closer to the age to play than he isn't. They did it with Shane Wright last year, so they could
Yeah.
essentially do the same thing with him this year. Listen, he's
Mm.
he's too good for the CHL. So we'll
Yeah.
see where
He's
that
one of
goes.
those.
But
Yeah, I feel like he's one of those tweener guys, and I don't know. Look, you see a lot of guys do similar to what he's doing now in those leagues and just don't amount to anything. But like
yeah,
I said, his dad played. He feels like a guy that you can get excited for at least, and
hmm
he's got some type of in this, like what we're talking about here, is that kind of I don't know. It's a specific skill, and
yeah,
why not use it in the NHL, or at least try? We'll see. We'll see how it
yeah,
goes. But just in general, it's a really positive kind of thing to look
yeah.
forward to, which is what we're really
Definitely
looking to
something I
grasp
didn't think
onto.
was gonna happen. Like, I didn't expect to be impressed by him.
No, and listen, you know way more about the guys at the lower levels than I do. In my mind, you know what I mean. You're really banking on the management that you have and the staff that they put together to really make good decisions.
Mhm.
And we've been saying this
Yeah,
for a long time. I trust that they know what they're talking about.
yeah,
And I trust the management to make the right hockey decision way more often than not. And
than
that's
the
what it
wrong
all
one. Yeah,
boils down to. Right.
exactly.
It's like we can talk trash right now and say all these things, but at the very end of it, I don't
Yeah,
know,
it's a crapshoot.
and I don't know. Yeah, for real. You don't know what a kid's going to be at 18. You don't know what he's going to be at 24.
No.
Um, but I think, like I said, they just exude, or they give me the confidence that I
hmm
think they make the right decision more often than not. Not that they're
Yeah,
the smartest guy in the room. Not that they're making picks that are outlandish. I mean, every
yeah,
pick that they've made, I think so far,
makes sense.
besides some of the goalies, has
Yeah,
been generally where that they were slotted to go, at least.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No reaching, no Jay O'Brien's.
No, exactly. I think they, at least when you talk about a new era of Orange, whatever the heck that means,
hmm
and we're probably ready to retire that after this season, right? You would
Yeah,
think.
moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, next
Um,
level orange.
well, yeah, when you talk about that, I think for me it means from the top down, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of the stories or rumors that you heard about the old management team was just they were so out of touch to what the city was. And I think, Philly is a market that is super niche in the sense that, they know when you're BSing them.
Yeah, they can feel it.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
Especially with this team, because this team, obviously, it's fourth in the city when it comes down to Flyers, Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, and probably the Flyers. And honestly, now the Union creeping up. But
Yeah.
you know, they're fighting for that fourth spot, and regardless, so it's almost like a club when you're a fan of a team like this in the city, and those kind of people. And I've been a fan since '85, I believe, is the first game I remember watching live. No, 87. Is that when they lost the finals to the Oilers? 87.
Yeah, Oilers.
I think,
yep.
Yeah, first hockey memory that I have, and this will be fun to talk about. First hockey memory that I have, 1987 game. I think they lost game 6.
Wow.
I watched that in my dad's bedroom, and the only reason I remember that is because he says, "Oh my God, if they win this game or they win this series, we're gonna have a parade." And I was like, "Parade? I love parades.
Kids love parades."
What in '87? I was 6 years old, so I was like, "Dude, parade! Let's get fired up." So now this is my first hockey memory, my first Flyers or my first Philly sports disappointment. They lose that series, tears, no parade. And a negative memory burnt into my brain. And it's not gotten any better since, Ace. It's gotten worse, argumentatively.
As time goes on,
As time goes on, I'm reliving the 1987 series back to back. So hopefully that changes this year. Yeah, exactly. I wake up and what's the song that Bill Murray wakes up to?
Oh, I have no clue.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Hello, it's Groundhog's Day again.
Yeah, in the tiny town of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Punxsutawney.
Hold on one second. So give me your first hockey memory while I look up what Bill Murray wakes up to.
So my first hockey memory is when, what was it, 91, when the draft happened for Lindros. And
good one.
Yeah, and so I wasn't as big as a hockey fan at that point, but like I think we were talking about this when we were reminiscing at work, and I was playing street hockey, and we were discussing on who we would be, and this was before the Flyers actually played the Red Wings in '97. This is like '95, and we were arguing. I was going to be Eric Lindros, and my friend was going to be Sergei Fedorov. So you can see what that '97 series did to us. But yeah, 91, I remember the draft, and I kind of started falling on the bandwagon in between 91 and 93. So I think it was that 93 series when they played, Toronto in the playoffs for their first playoffs with Eric Lindros. Toronto ended up winning the whole Eastern Conference or something. Yeah, that was my first. I was very young. I think I was only about, I think I was 10 when I finally started realizing I liked watching the Flyers. And just in time for them to let me down in 97.
That 97 series was brutal, the Stanley Cup Finals, because they had all that momentum going in. Lindros was, coming into being what Eric Lindros was going to be. They had that whole, in this series, but not this game behind me, that iconic kind of like, which would be 100% a hook in 2024. He hooks Messier, goes by him and scores an empty netter to go on to the series. And they just get hammered by the Red Wings, who at the time were filled with Hall of Famers.
Yeah. They were like an illegal team.
Yzerman, Lidstrom. Who else?
Jeez. They had Konstantinov and Kozlov
exactly.
And
all those guys. My God.
All the Russians.
All the Russians, that they smuggled out. That's what we need to do. See, this is what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
It's 97 reversed, right? It's not as secretive, but close to it. Because they did a documentary.
Wait till we get Demidov.
Right. This is what I mean. Do what they did to us, reverse style. Yeah. Sure. Whatever. But but yeah, right. So we're talking about, I guess, the draft moving forward here. Demidov, tomato, Fedotov, Fedotov, whatever you want to say. So the more realistic possibility,
but it looks different.
Who's that?
Iserman.
Oh, that's right. That's what we were going to talk about. Is that the most? Yeah, right. As we're talking about the '97 guys. Yeah, sorry, I'm out to lunch right now. Jesus.
Mhm.
So Cole Iserman, not Y, but Eiserman. More
Yeah, there you go.
realistic than Demidov, whoever, at 12 if they don't decide to move up. More like a lot like Cutter Gauthier type style where not too much defense being played, elite shot, and possibly
Yeah,
some attitude issues now that are coming out to
yeah,
light. And I don't know exactly
yeah,
what the attitude issues are. Do you?
yeah. So you were cutting out a little bit. I'm assuming we're still talking about Iserman because you brought up the shot. Yeah, that shot is if
Yeah,
he
yeah,
played
yeah.
in the NHL today, he would have the third best shot in the entire NHL behind Matthews and Bedard, and it wouldn't even be close. He's that good of a shot. His attitude issues aren't as bad as his buddy Trevor Connolly from Team USA, uh, who's just he's I mean Tony DeAngelo, but as a forward. Uh, his attitude issues are why would I change my game? Why do I need to play defense? Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do that? I'm just going to keep going with what I got here doing. Which I mean, he's a kid, so I guess you can look at that and be like, it's worked. He's right. He's not wrong. You know, he's the leading scorer for the national team development by one goal now.
Mm.
He beat Cole Caulfield. So now us Flyers fans, if we draft him, we could be like, finally, we got Cole Caulfield. Um, his work ethic is there, so I don't see any issues with that. It's really just his attitude when, Torts comes up to him and says, I need you to start doing this, back check and do this. And he's just going to kind of smile away at him. That's his attitude issue. A lot of people think he's not trying, is what it looks like.
And I think you can kind of maybe chalk that up to he's a young kid, right?
Yeah.
Those attitude issues can change the shot. You can't teach it. So,
No.
at 12, it's a strong pick in my opinion. Look, we can work on attitude. Once he gets here, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
The one-dimensional
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, listen. He's one-dimensional. That also can change what you are at 18, what you are at 19. What are you going to be? Because if you went back and looked at some of the draft profiles of some of the top talent in the NHL,
Mm-hmm.
not those top picks, but guys that were picked a little bit lower that built themselves up or were built up to get to that point. It might be a little bit different, and I don't know what Mitch Marner's draft profile was, but now that the Leafs are out, that's something that we wanted to talk about. And look, Mitch Marner, a lot of scrutiny, and obviously being in Toronto, you're going to get that anyway. But even more so because of his quote unquote soft play, avoiding contact, his God treated like God's comment that he made got a lot of talk, especially after the playoffs that he had.
Things, doesn't he? Oh yeah,
he really does.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a PR guy.
No.
Like, will you shut up?
Yeah,
like read the room, man.
Yeah,
read the room.
Yeah.
So, and we were talking about this off the podcast, is that these big teams, well, the Oilers had a big win last night, so they're tied up in that series. But yeah, back in the series. But the big talented teams, Toronto, Edmonton, with those big stars, losing in the first, second round as they do, makes those big pieces on that team available. And one of them is going to be Mitch Marner, you would think. You want him. I do not. Make your case and I'll make mine.
So let me put it this way. I don't want him. I'm not going to say no to him now. If the Maple Leafs come to me and say, hey, you need some big name talent, what do you feel about Mitch Marner? I'm going to say, what do you want for him? I'm not going to say no if they come at me with a package, He is soft, but I mean, so are some winners like Kucherov, Stamkos, Panarin. McKinnon can be a little soft with the dives, Crosby. List goes on with soft players surrounded by
Mhm.
good players. I think he just needs a change of scenery. I think Toronto is all he's known. So he kind
Right.
of it's kind of like, you know, are you going to ever live up to that? He could, you never know. He could win a ring with them, and still they're going to be like, well, let's get number two. Let's do the dynasty. Can you do the dynasty? You know, they're always going to be living up to something. So I think a change of
Mhm.
scenery could help him. He's completely refined his game from you brought up what his draft looked like, his scouting report. For him, he was all offense. Now we're talking, he does penalty killing, he does all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, if you told me, hey, I'm going to give you Mitch Marner to play next to Michkov, I'm going to say, okay, sure, whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's my argument.
So I can't refute any of that. And his game could have been refined and all that. But I'm
Yeah,
looking at just him as a person, right? Him
yeah,
as, does he have it?
yeah.
Because if he comes here and he does play with Michkov, Michkov's only 19, so he's not your star yet. He
No,
comes here, that's your guy.
yeah.
You're gonna pay a price for him. I don't
hmm
know what the price will look like. I don't know what the package will look like.
hmm
I do know that it'll be a lot.
Yeah,
TK probably in that deal.
definitely losing a goalie as well.
You're losing a goalie. You're losing a prospect. It's. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like again, if I couldn't tell you, I'm not in Danny's shoes.
yeah,
But you know, if you get that guy, you're getting him to be the guy on your team.
hmm
He comes with a reputation. He comes with a name. Look, he's a skilled kid for sure.
yeah,
What's he,
yeah.
25?
26,
25,
26.
26? Yeah.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
look, he's in his prime. He's ready to go. You'll have him for the next 6 years at a high level.
hmm
I just don't see him being that guy. He doesn't want to be
Yeah,
that guy. He wants to be a
yeah,
guy. And if you bring him here, if he can't handle Toronto, he's not going to
it's
do
gonna be
well
tough,
here.
really.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
Similar kind of pressure, but I think what will be said to him, it is a little ramped up. We kind of
yeah.
get a little rambunctious. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but
No, not here.
especially down there, and especially when it's ramped up, when the stakes are raised, is what I was looking for.
hmm
I just don't see a
Yeah,
guy like that thriving in the city. And look, he might be good. He's a skilled kid, like I said, but I don't see him thriving in an environment like this. He feels like a small market
yeah,
star to me. That's my point. You know,
yeah.
I just
So
don't.
I
For the
think,
price you'll pay, you might not get the payoff.
yeah, yeah. It's
Did I
unfortunate
convince you?
because if
I
you were to tell
convinced you.
me,
Did I win?
not yet. I have a
Did I?
counter. Here, hear me out.
Oh, I love it.
Hear
Let's
me out.
go.
If
You don't want it,
it's
Ace. You don't
unfortunate
want
that
it.
TK would have to be in the package. Oh, I'm bringing it. It's unfortunate that TK would have to be in the package because I feel like TK would be the player that would step up and be like, yo, I got you. You be you. I'll take care of everything else, you know? And then if Michkov comes here, he's going to be second fiddle to Michkov. It doesn't matter how good or how quick Michkov becomes a star. All the pressure is going to be on Michkov because he's homegrown. We've waited for him. It's Philadelphia. We love our prospects. They're all the best here. And Marner would just end up being kind of like in between the two. So if you could do it without getting TK, get rid of TK, then
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be great. You're just not going to get it done without TK being traded. We don't have anybody that we could get rid of. Plus, I mean, I don't know who Toronto really has in terms of quote protection, but we got a lot of fourth line guys and some grinders on this team. We don't need to really worry about. You know, I think they'll feel a little bit more protection with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And last point, Toronto's market is gigantic. They're year-round sellouts. We don't become year-round sellouts until we start winning. So he has some time to adjust. Not until we get into the playoffs again, then all the other Flyers fans kind of get on and they're like, oh, where's this Michkov guy and this Marner guy? Let's see how well they do. then the pressure would
Right.
be on. So you do have a point in the pressure, but I think he would have a little bit of leeway to get there.
Ooh, you're assuming a lot about the city. So look, you got Kucherov, you got Hughes, Panarin, Crosby, guys that you say, oh, he's right on there. Crosby, first of all, we're not even putting Marner in that same level. Kucherov, again, not in that same level. Hughes is more of I think Hughes is more of a comparison to him, but even so, he's got that attitude about him. That cockiness about him. Not overly cocky, annoying as hell if you're playing him, but you know, if you talk about who is he like, and even Panarin, again, that fire. He's got that fire when it comes down to it. You know, there was that one play that I think who was it that was just ripping him to shreds, like an ex-player.
Oh,
I forget who it was.
This year. You talking about on the bench when it was William Nylander was ripping him?
No. Like it was like an ex-Toronto player on a podcast. Everybody's got a podcast now.
It probably had to be Hyman, right? On Edmonton?
Dude, I don't know. But whoever it was, I'd have to go back and look. But whoever it was Jay Rosehill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jay Rosehill.
Yes.
Just ripped him to shreds. And Jay Rosehill, an ex-tough guy, just ripped him to shreds for his attitude, work ethic, just who do you think you are? That was basically the quote, like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
And so he's just getting it in Toronto right now. And because of that one play, I forget who had the puck in the corner. He made a concerted effort to avoid contact. And that's all I need to see.
He's allergic to contact.
Because if you do that here, and we're talking about when it's time to win, and you're doing that here, that those people will not tolerate that junk.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Because we're talking about you know, the guy behind me, 88. Those kind of things. And then, you know, even the Broad Street Bullies, I think it's well overplayed and it's time to let it go in a certain sense. But there's still that standard of what it takes to play in a city like this. And it's not that. It's not being that kind of thing. When you talk about where I see him playing in look, big cities, a place like LA, a place like, you know, now Utah, which I love. Honestly, the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
That's the winner for me. No, I love it. I wish they would stay
Utah
with
Hockey
that.
Club. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I love
should.
it. It's different. And look, you can, I love it, but I'm getting way off topic there.
It's
places
like the
like
Arizona
LA.
Coyotes, they could have a golf club on the front, like the club instead, because they're always golfing.
Exactly. But like places like LA, Florida, any Florida place would be great for him. Where you can be that secondary guy, and not, you know, I don't think this team and this city needs something like that. If you're gonna pay a price, I'd like to see you pay a price for a guy in the draft, and let's go get a number 2 guy.
Well, let me put it to you this way. What if the price is right? What if they're like, yo, he's not working here. I'm not going to get a package for him. So why don't you give me, you know, Sanheim and Farabee, and we'll call it quits.
Dude, I don't see that happening because, you know, when you open up the full market to a guy like that, they're just asking somebody to overpay, and that's not going to get it done. I mean, it sounds good. Look, if you're giving them away, sure, we'll take them. But for the price I think you'll have to pay, or I expect he'll go for, and especially the price that I think Toronto wants, because they're not just going to give this kid away. They're going to want something really, really good, an immediate impact.
Well, they could easily trade him and fix their problems, their goaltending and defense problems. That's all I was saying. Like, he is going to bring a package in that's going to correct their issues, which is defense and goaltending. They have no problem scoring goals.
Well, no, I mean, I need to see the package. That sounds suspect, but I would need to see the package. I don't know what it is. If you're talking about a guy like a goalie prospect, we have tons of those. You could have them, but I don't think they'd want that. I think they want somebody immediate. You know,
no,
they're not rebuilding. They're not.
It would be Harrison. It would have to be Harrison.
So I don't think we're prepared at least for what we saw from Fedotov last year, look, a bad spot, and Torts even openly admitted that, a bad spot to put a guy like that in. Did well, I mean, but there was some issues, and there's obviously going to be some issues coming over from a different league. And especially all the issues that he had anyway. So he needs a full off season to get all that right. And I fully expect what I saw from him was good. And I fully expect him to bounce back and be fine. And, you know, you can talk about the contract that he got, and rumors are that the contract that he got is a little bit of a kick in the butt to his agent to get Michkov over. Because on the surface, it looks like an overpay for what he showed.
It's great to have the same agent, isn't it?
It definitely is. And so I think there's something in the works there. Like we said when we started this podcast, you know, there's definitely a plan, I think, and those kind of issues, I think, lead one to believe that it'll happen sooner than later. Comcast, like I said, we've talked about this before. They've got all the money in the world. You'll get back what you put in if you get a kid over here that can really play. Yeah,
exactly. And if you put him, I think a lot has to do with who he's playing with as well. And you know, having Zamula here, Fedotov, like, it does help. You know, and you talk about Demidov. I mean, is it going to happen? Probably not, but could it? If that would bring him over quick too. Can you imagine that? You know, like, we're going to have that conversation if we draft Demidov as well.
Yeah, I mean, as we sit here now, it's still a possibility. I mean, the chances of it aren't good. I don't know where he'll fall. He's not in. They have that new kind of prospect rule over in Russia now. He doesn't fall into that, does he?
No.
Okay.
He gets to skip that out. I think it's hit the next class.
The next wave.
Below him.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. That's what I figured. So I don't know. Does the Russian thing scare anybody off? Probably not, because of the Fedotov stuff, and depending on what. Honestly, let's keep Michkov out until after the draft. That keeps that window open, I would think, anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
So after, July, August, September, that would be fine.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Like I said, as we sit here, it's still a possibility. It would be if you're saying what's my best case scenario for this draft, it would be Demidov, but we'll see how it pans out. Like I said, on a different podcast, I would like to see Danny do something massive this offseason, just something massive, whether it be in the draft or whether it be something else. It makes more sense to be in the draft, given what they've said about everything so far. But we'll see how it pans out. I'm excited for it nonetheless, though.
Oh yeah, I'm actually going to be watching the draft with the thought that there's going to be a trade. There's no way I can't see them holding on to that Florida pick and not moving up.
I'm going into it expecting something big.
Yeah.
It just feels that way to me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I would be surprised if there's not something big, whether it be in the draft, whether it be a trade, whether it be, a big trade.
Somebody's coming over.
That, and you know what? I'm expecting that so much that I think I want something extra on top of that.
You know what's going to happen?
That's how greedy I am right now.
You know what's going to happen?
What's that?
Garrett Bettman's going to come out with the 3rd overall or the 4th overall pick and say there's been a trade. The Flyers have traded up, and out walks Michkov to pick Demidov 4th overall.
Dude, you know how fired up we'd be? You know how fired up? Like, are you kidding me? I'd be firing off texts to everybody I know.
There's a 1% chance that happened, and I got excited.
I don't even know if there's a 1% chance. It's probably about a 0.5% chance. But that's like some WWE stuff. That's awesome. That would be insane. Yeah. That would be really good. But yeah, hey, listen, we'll see how it goes. And why don't we stop here? It's been about 40 minutes. That sounds about right?
Yeah.
So, we'll see. When is the draft? June
30th?
3rd? Is it the 3rd or the 30th? I don't know. Whenever it is.
Yeah, I think it's the 30th.
If I'm off.
So I can't look at it.
It's all good. Well, if we're off, if I'm off, we should do something for the draft. That would be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be good.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be
So
our first live
we'll try to go
podcast.
live and see.
Yeah,
Maybe that'll be good.
we need 50 followers.
So like and subscribe then. If you want to see I know that you guys are banging down our door to do live draft coverage. Holy Lord. I gotta keep these people out. But
yep.
Like and subscribe. We'll get this up on YouTube. We're now on Spotify, thanks to Ace. Congratulations for that.
Thanks. It only took us 6 hours to figure it out.
We're getting there. So like and subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, and I don't know where do people. I'm starting to get old. I'm at the precipice of being old. So I don't know where everybody's watching
words
all
like
their stuff.
precipice. So
precipice. Listen, that's a 50-cent word. I'm going to stand by that word. Young kids, you should listen. Vocabulary is cool. Yeah. Don't trash vocabulary. Yeah. So we're on the precipice. We're doing all that. We're getting old. We're streaming. We'll go live. Ace, appreciate it, brother. I'll talk to you next time for episode 5, episode 4 in the books.
See ya.